Welcome back to Cosmic Road, where I discuss UFOs and the paranormal. Today we have Lou Elizondo's thoughts on why the Air Force isn't talking about UFOs. Why this silence? I think I have a really good idea, but Christopher Mellon, who is, hugely important in all of what's going on, he just put out an article openly questioning the Air Force and defying them to come up with a reason why they have kept their lips sealed on this issue. Okay, before we dive in, please hit like, please subscribe. As I'm talking about it, please comment below and share on social media. I'm trying to build this channel and I would really appreciate it. Okay, here's what Lou had to say.
Christopher Mellon spent nearly 20 years in the U.S. intelligence community, including serving as the Minority Staff Director of the Senate Intelligence Committee and the Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence. He actively participates in Harvard's Galileo project and in his free time works to raise awareness regarding the U.A.P. issue and its implications for national security. Incorporating all of that, Chris Mellon wrote a special op-ed for The Debrief. And with me today is Lou Elizondo to talk about the article, Why is the Air Force AWOL on the U.A.P. issue? Lou, for those that have not read it, what can you tell us about the article?
Yeah, I think the article is a long time coming. Chris shares my frustration in the fact that certain elements within the Department of Defense have been left less forthcoming and less cooperative.
You tell him, Lou.
Topic. I mean, let's face it. Up until recently, it's always been the Navy, right, reporting all these incidents. Where's the Air Force? And the Air Force flies aircraft too, just like the Navy. For someone in the Air Force to say, well, we don't have any of these issues. Well, that's not really accurate, because we know through FAA records that they do. Even commercial pilots are having these encounters. So why is the Air Force not taking this seriously? Furthermore, recently the Secretary of the Air Force stated, yes, we know the reality of these things, but because we don't know what they are, they're not really a priority for us. Well, that's like saying, well, there's this submarine that just popped out of the water in the Potomac outside of Washington, D.C. It's not ours, but because we don't know whose it is, we don't really care. I mean, that doesn't hold water. We in the defense community have a responsibility, in fact, an obligation to determine what something is and whether or not it's a threat. And especially if you don't know what something is, then that's a problem. That's an intelligence gap. So I do agree with Chris 100% that the Air Force needs to take this more seriously. Furthermore, I have seen some efforts, and this is not indicative of the whole Air Force, because I've worked with plenty of folks in the Air Force that are absolutely outstanding Americans, wonderful men and women, patriots. But there's something in the bureaucracy there that, for whatever reason, they're very hesitant to have the discussion. Now, there's many reasons for that, perhaps. Perhaps there's a little bit of embarrassment.
Something in the bureaucracy.
Right? Because the Air Force is supposed to dominate the sky. And if there's something up there that they don't know what it is and how it works and can outperform anything we have, that's kind of a tough problem to have, right? And it's even harder to talk about it, especially publicly. There could be another issue. Maybe there is some historical or legacy efforts done by the Air Force in this topic, and they're guarding their equities very jealously. That could be it. Or another option is too that perhaps the Air Force got burned with the whole Blue Book thing, right? They maybe started off looking at this seriously, and then it turned out that they were told nothing to see here, folks. They put their credibility on the line. They said that for the record and to Congress, and now it looks like, well, there is something to see here. So there could be a whole bunch of reasons, and it could even be a mixture of all three of those, and even a bunch of others. But Chris is absolutely right. The Air Force must get engaged. I think we run the risk of if they don't get on board the ship soon, they actually risk losing more credibility than pursuing this topic if they don't pursue it at this point.
Credibility? What credibility? Air Force has zero credibility at this point. Let's be real. By the way, great beard, Lou. I love it. I don't know. I've got some mileage on you, but I think you're going to catch up to me pretty soon. So, but yeah, okay. Let's get into it. what is going on with the Air Force. And by the way, kudos to Chris Mellon for putting this article out there and getting it into the public consciousness to question the Air Force. And why should we be questioning the Air Force? Well, all of the videos that the Pentagon has put out, and I say put out, they didn't really do it voluntarily, but it's out there, and they have confirmed that these videos are legit. They kind of had to be dragged to the table, but they're there now. All of those videos, well, they're coming from the Navy or Homeland Security, mostly from the Navy. So none of them are coming from the Air Force, and the Air Force has not talked about it or wanted to go on the record talking about any of this stuff. So why? Well, I think I have a really good reason why, and I think Lou knows and Chris knows. That's because the Air Force has been in the bag this whole time. What do I mean by that? I mean Area 51, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Roswell. What do all these things have in common? The Air Force. The Air Force has been involved in this from the get-go. During the Nimitz incident, the famous Tic Tac incident, it was undesignated Air Force personnel that showed up to steal, or not steal, but to confiscate the data tapes, the data bricks, as they were called, from the jet fighters. Why did Air Force people show up on a Navy ship to take these data bricks away, this classified stuff from the jet fighters? And why did they show up instantly as soon as the planes landed? That is a great question. Clearly, the Air Force has been in on this for a long time. They have a huge interest in this. Area 51 is their baby. And when I say Area 51, I'm using that as an umbrella term, including all of the secretive stuff that is happening with reverse engineering alien technology, and or even working with the beings themselves. And yes, I think some of that is very likely going on. In fact, a lot of alien abductees see government official types and military types there. It would make sense for those to be Air Force officials and people working with the Air Force. So when we talk about the breakaway civilization and all of that kind of stuff, we're probably looking to the Air Force for that. They are probably where the breakaway civilization lies, them plus some and or a lot of it in the private sector. So those are just my thoughts and theories. What do you think about that? What do you think Lou and Chris know about all of this? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear what you have to say. Meanwhile, I'll see you soon. Give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Also, comment in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts on all of this. Share it on social media. And please, I would love it if today you hit the subscribe button. And if you did, the bell next to it to be notified of future videos. Okay, until next time, Cosmic Road out.